Across Africa, there's a fight for the soul of Christianity.
You can be threatened. They say, where have you done? What you will die.
Rogue pastors are exploiting the trust and belief of their followers for profit and power. Some are even committing murders in the name of Christ. This has led to some Africans questioning their faith and turning their backs on religion.
A lot of religious figures have done a lot to cause people to become wary of them.
My name is Peter McJoe. I grew up in Nigeria, raised as a strict Catholic. Like many Africans, I'm concerned the faith I hold so dear is slowly being hijacked by charlatans. I've come to Uganda, where over 80% of the population are Christian. Here, I'm hoping to find out how influential these people are and the impact they've had on the faith of many Ugandans. My journey starts here in Kanungu, western Uganda. 22 years ago, these hills and valleys were the scene of a horrific massacre. On March 17, 2000, over 500 members of a doomsday cult were led into a church, locked in, and the church was set alight. Men, women, and children were burnt alive. Shekanabo Gashaka was a witness to the massacre.
They called my wife to come this way and visit them. Then that day, she did not return back.
It all started after members of the cult believed the new millennium signaled the end of the world. When this didn't happen, cult members began to question their leaders. The leaders decided to kill those who doubted them.
They were all black, like charcoal. They were all burned.
What happened in Kanungu should have been a warning about the dangers of cults. But even today, extreme religious groups and figures continue to flourish. It was only last year in the town of Kakira that a horrific murder involving a self-styled pastor in this building shocked Uganda.
Era pastor yajjanga wano n'abantu ajomu nomo one by one like that.
While the pastor was using the church, Annette's 4-year-old daughter disappeared. Annette's daughter, Trinity, was allegedly murdered by the pastor and his wife.
Ne bayingira omwo n'akwata omwana mu bulago n'akolya n'amunyiga then n'amusala omukazi n'amukwatirako ne babaaga omwana waffe.
According to the police report, Trinity was sacrificed. Police said they slit her throat before cutting off her head. How has that affected you as a person?
Nange kyempisa bubi kubanga nze nange ndi mukkiriza naye kyampisa bubi mu mutima kubanga kyankosa nnyo naye yakola bubi kubanga omuntu eyandikiriza Katonda atyo okukkiriza Katonda ate nga abasumba bwe batyo si bwe bakola kati ono yalina kigendererwa kike.
The pastor and his wife have been charged by the police and are now waiting to go to court. It's not just rogue pastors. Controversial religious sects are also gaining widespread support in Uganda. I've come to Kagadi, western Uganda, where thousands of followers of a group known as the Faith of Unity are converging on this small town, convinced they are about to witness a miracle. 1 year ago, their spiritual leader passed away. Today, they believe he will return. Omukama Bisaka saw himself as a god and claimed to have supernatural healing powers.
I'm Kamarwanga,
Faith of Unity has support from within the highest level of the Ugandan government, even from President Museveni. I've been invited to witness the return of their leader. As I walk in, I see members of the Ugandan army who seem to be part of the group's security. Control is tight, and I'm instructed not to speak to any of the followers. At first, I'm told to observe the ceremony from behind the scenes. But very quickly, I'm thrust in front of the congregation.
1 Corinthians chapter 7,
chapter 7,
I'm asked to read from the Bible.
verse 36.
Now you are going to read for the public.
Still, if there is anyone
If
who...
you wish to stand up, you can stand up, because now you are part of us.
Okay.
I'm very uncomfortable and don't want to be part of their unconventional teachings. I have no idea what's coming next.
Peter. Still, if there is anyone who feels that it would not be fair to his daughter to let her grow too old for marriage, and that he should do something about it, he is free to do as he likes. He is not sinning if there is a marriage.
A marriage. Wait a bit. If there is a marriage between him and who?
Father and daughter?
Yes. As an African, would you like to do that?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely no. But that's what they're telling you to do. And the Bible is for Africans.
I suddenly realized the sect are using me to discredit the Bible. Most versions refer to marriage between a man and his fiancée, but I'm made to read an obscure translation. It seems Faith of Unity rejects the Bible and believes it's there to distort the minds of Africans.
The Bible was written for the Africans, not for the whites.
Instead, they follow their own holy book, which was written by Bisaka. Despite the anticipation of the followers and big ceremony, Bisaka failed to resurrect. I was told I'd be able to speak to a Faith of Unity leader, but the preaching went on into the evening, and it never happened. I was left with more questions than answers. So we've been trying to get hold of the leaders of the Faith of Unity group, all to no avail, but what we have managed to achieve is we've convinced a former leader who was actually part of the inner circle and is now left, and he's actually agreed to speak to us. Why do you think he upgraded himself to God status?
Of course, he was to entrench his dictatorship in the whole organization. Whenever you would say something, that other people would be there ready to say, you want to question God?
Would you describe Faith of Unity as a cult?
When I read the characteristics of a cult, I discovered that we actually belonged to a cult. For me, when I backed out of the thing, they said he's going to die within a few days.
We asked Faith of Unity to respond to our claims, but we didn't receive a response. For hundreds of millions of Africans, Christianity is the cornerstone of their very existence. Now, I know there's a place for religion in our society. It brings comfort and hope to many. But from what I've seen during the making of this film, the more charlatans and con men prey on their congregations, the more people may turn their back on religion altogether.